welcome to Monza. So we have a pretty action-packed race starting in P18 as we didn't really have time to qualify, but we're going to fight our way up the pack all the way to what is very close to a podium. So just got to survive the bumper cars scenario that ultimately happens in Monza. McLaren's going to go ahead and fight me for the exit, pushing me wide with his elbows into the dirt, slowing me down, but might be a blessing in disguise as calamity unfolds in front of us. We just kind of thread our way through the trouble. But McLaren takes off without us. So good news is there's not anyone directly behind us that's going to try to fight us through this corner. So we're just going to kind of keep pace, not making mistakes, get away from the pack behind us. Already you see two more cars going off track, Ferrari and Porsche, giving us two positions. It looks like the yellow McLaren was also caught up in this, which slowed him down significantly, which brings the blue McLaren back into striking distance for us. So we want to focus on getting around both these guys and getting as much rank as we can in the track. So McLaren pushes me out wide a little bit, but doesn't slow me down too much as I'm able to just get around him gracefully down into the final chicane here. Braking hard, not letting him pass me. McLaren in front goes a little wide, coming out of the corner slower than he'd like, which is going to give me a better drive and an opportunity to get into his draft entering the final corner of lap 1. Looking in my mirrors to make sure that the McLaren behind us isn't planning any attacks, but he's not. We're going to go into the corner, and the guy in front of us is just going to go a little wide. You know, sometimes when you have cold tires, you try to push it, but you understeer and ultimately give the position. So he's going to give the position to us, but the McLaren is a pretty aerodynamically efficient car, and my car is kind of, the Lexus is more of a brick than it is, a slick car. So McLaren's actually going to have a decent advantage on me aerodynamically, which is going to give him draft. He's going to slingshot onto the inside, blocking me and slowing me down just enough to where this Ferrari can spin me out, which is a bummer. Entering the track somewhat ungracefully, causing these guys to have to slow down. So sorry guys, but back on track, dusting ourselves off and getting back to it. So we're going to fast forward a little bit. We see there's the guys left us in the distance, but this Ferrari is going to go ahead and go for a move on the inside. I'm going to do everything I can to keep the car while he passes me. I'm out into the marbles now, but we got a decent exit. He did get a little better than us out though, so we're just going to try to kind of resume draft behind him. But we also got to watch out for this Porsche that is trying to sneak up on the rear as well. So yet again, I'm on the outside of this corner with two cars fighting me on the inside. I'm going to try to play it safe to avoid any other spins. I'm going to go ahead and concede the corner to the Ferrari, giving him a better drive out. But the Porsche is going to make an attempt to attack, but he ultimately gives in as well. So just, clinching pretty tight here. I'm getting attacked from the rear while also trying to attack to the front. But also, got to minimize any mistakes that I might make on my own in order to avoid getting into the clinches of this Porsche behind me. So he's going to attack, but going to go ahead and not have any problems with the Porsche. So coming out of the corner, Porsche's now a little bit further back, giving us a second to breathe here. So I'm going to go ahead and observe the Ferrari in front of us now and just kind of see if I can gauge any mistakes or any patterns that he might make. So he goes wide here. Now take note of that. I don't know if he's still kind of warming his tires up or if he's feeling the pressure a little bit from the Porsche and I. But I'm going to slowly study this Ferrari as we move through the race and see if there's anything I can exploit. I already can see that I'm a little faster than him through this particular corner. So maybe that was a one-off mistake. Maybe he's not so good at the corner, and so that might be something we could exploit later as well. Meanwhile, though, I have to keep paying attention to this Porsche behind us. He's definitely hungry to pass, and it could develop into a problem for us. So I'm going to go ahead and try to pass on the outside, manage the understeer and the oversteer as best I can through this corner. But the Ferrari's ultimately going to get a better drive out of the corner, and the Porsche now is developing into a more serious problem. But luckily, I have the draft of the Ferrari, and I have more horsepower in the Lexus than the Porsche behind us. which is going to help us gain a little bit of distance and have a safe entrance into this corner. Now I'm heavy on the brakes as I brake a little too late. Don't want to cause any problems for the Ferrari. But he does get a much better exit from the corner. So he's going to get a lot of distance. So that's going to kind of undo a lot of the work I did last lap to catch up to him. But we do have some intel as to where he might be a little bit squirrely with the car, and hopefully we'll have an opportunity to catch up to him later. Porsche doesn't seem to be too much of an issue. We seem to be gaining distance from the Porsche. Matter of fact, I think he gets involved in an incident, so he's going to be out of the picture moving forward, which is nice because we really needed kind of a moment to take a breath, as it's been pretty action-packed for these last these opening laps here. So, going to watch the Ferrari. He goes wide again. So we saw that last lap. We've seen it again. So we know that, okay, he made the same mistake twice in this corner. Maybe he will make another mistake in the chicane coming up. We saw that last lap. So going to go ahead and give him a lot of space, but maybe he'll go slower through the corner and we can really catch him on the exit, which will give us a nice... Oh, and look at that. He makes a fatal mistake entering his Ferrari into the bleachers. So Ferrari's gone. Clean air all the way up to the guys in front. We have two guys way off in the distance. One of them, we fast forward to a few laps later, one of them may have had an issue which caused him to slow down, which gives us an opportunity to claim his position. So a little faster than him through these corners, but you don't want to have too much contact coming out. He goes wide, giving us a clean opportunity to drag race him down the straightaway. I'm going to go in and grab a little bit of draft, see if we can get a clean outside pass. Those are a little tricky in this car, though, as this car likes to oversteer. So clean outside pass, going to manage the oversteer as best I can, and ultimately get a better drive out of the corner than the Mercedes. However, we're not totally in the clear yet, as we have an advantage over the Mercedes, but he is still here, so we have to be mindful of him. Now, this is like the third or fourth lap in a row we've had where we've had a car fighting us for this position, so we've had an accident here. We want to avoid that from happening again, so we're going to be careful. He's going to be careful. He's going to go ahead and give us that position. Matter of fact, this Mercedes in particular saw us get spun out, so I think he's going to try his best to be a little easy on us and not bump us around. Going to go ahead and fast forward a few laps to lap 9 of 11, so we're entering kind of the final stages of this race. I believe I am in third place now, and this McLaren is in second. So McLaren in front and second, and we still have that AMG in the distance behind us who's in third. We're going to do everything we can to try to... I'm sorry, he's in fourth. We're going to do everything we can to try to fight this McLaren for second place. He has the advantage here. This is not a good passing, or at least passing on the outside kind of corner. So we're going to go a little slower, but the problem is we went a little slower to avoid contact, but that ultimately made contact between me and the Mercedes, giving a free pass, 2 positions actually, to the lucky Lamborghini that was behind us. So Mercedes feeling bad about the contact, goes ahead and gives me the position back, which is very nice of him. So thank you. I think his name is Johan. So thank you. Yeah, Johan. Thank you so much for being sportsmanlike. Most people just drive off. So we're going to go ahead and fast forward to entering the final full lap. We have one final lap left. We caught the Lamborghini who took the free positions from us. But he's defending third place, which is our podium. So we're going to do everything we can. We're going to go full attack, try to get that position back in the short amount of time that we have. So finally, I have an advantage. I have the inside of the final corner, which is what you want, but I just mess it up with some oversteer, and that's really going to chop down on my momentum out of the corner and onto the straightaway. And that really matters because I have this V10 Lamborghini who's going to drag race me down the straightaway. And it's going to be a tight, it's going to be a fight for this entrance. So I'm not having good luck with this corner. Everyone keeps fighting me for it. I'm just going to go ahead and give it to him. I don't want to get hit. I don't want to have any problems. But ultimately, he still elbows me out, giving me a fistful of dirt. Lamborghini takes off. And now I'm in the clutches of this Mercedes that is looming dormant behind me. So now I got a problem. Now I'm on the defense instead of the offense. I'm going to do everything I can to be efficient in this last final lap to try to maximize as much as I can and close the real estate between me and that Lamborghini in front. He makes a mistake. He goes wide. Now's my opportunity. But he just, as soon as the door opens, he slams it. therefore slowing me down through this section. So he slows me down, blocking me out. Okay, fair enough, it's the final lap. However, that Mercedes behind me is catching up every moment. He's getting a little closer. So, racing down to the final chicane. Now, what you should do in this situation is you don't want to be bumper to bumper on a guy in front of you like this. You really want to give them space to get through the corner, and then you can brake later and maintain your momentum. What I just did there is I was too close to him and I had to brake mid-corner. You never want to do that. You never want to have to brake mid-corner because you lose all of your speed. So I'm paying the price for that now. Now the Mercedes is right up on me, and he has all the opportunity in the world to pass me on the inside, pushing me yet further away from my dreams of a podium. But he concedes the corner, trying to, I guess, be very patient and not cause any more collisions. But that is going to conclude this race, guys. It's a really good fight, pretty quick one. Would have really loved to have a podium, but sometimes mistakes are made, things you can't control. So ultimately, you just got to improve your racecraft, avoid things from happening, and shoot as hard as you can for the results. So I hope you guys like that turn-by-turn breakdown of the race. If you guys enjoy these, I'll keep doing them. If you have a race that you've done that is particularly exciting, I'll also love to review it. So take care, guys.